Ever get that feeling like when a song comes on and ooh, bam, bam, you're right back where you were, what it felt like years ago? Like those old school dances or driving with the windows down, blasting your favorite tunes. Music, it's a total time machine, am I right?
It really is powerful stuff.
So today, we're hitting rewind all the way back to 1994. Buckle up.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Power ride for this trip. The lyrics from Year to Be Young, 1994, a Stephen Wilson Jr. track.
Okay.
And I found this amazing analysis of the lyrics online. Someone who really seems to have lived through that era.
Cool.
We'll use both to see what they tell us about music, especially when, you're coming of age. Don't worry, though, you don't need to have been there to get it.
Yeah, the themes are pretty universal, I bet.
Exactly. This deep dive is really about how music makes those universal experiences even, bigger, more intense, no matter when your year was.
I like that.
All right, let's set the scene. The song kicks off with hiding in my headphones, laying on the bedroom floor. That just screams like teenage escape to me,
It's funny how universal that image is. That feeling of just wanting to shut out the world and get lost in the music.
For sure.
And it's interesting, actually, the person who wrote this analysis, they call music their self-prescribed emotional medicine back then.
Emotional medicine. I love that. Makes you think about how powerful music is, especially when we're younger, trying to figure out our feelings and all that.
Definitely.
Was there one song or one band that got you through those years, the one you played over and over when life got complicated?
Oh, absolutely. Music was like this constant companion for me.
Yeah.
A way to, I don't know, process emotions I didn't have words for yet,
Yeah.
Especially being a teenager.
Yeah.
So much going on.
Totally. And this whole idea of music as a lifeline, it really comes through in the next line we wanted to look at. My life was a stereo and it was everything.
Oh, wow.
Simple, but it hits hard, right?
Yeah.
At that age, music isn't just something you hear, it's your whole world.
It really is.
Yeah.
And adolescence, that's such a key time for figuring out who you are, your identity. Music plays a huge role in that, I think.
Right.
The bands you're into, concerts, even the way you dress, because the music you listen to, it's all part of how you present yourself to the world,
Yeah.
Who you are or who you want to be.
Totally. And this is where it gets really interesting. The analysis mentions MTV specifically, how they discovered music from all over the world that way.
Ah, MTV.
Makes you wonder how different things are now for teenagers with Spotify and curated playlists and all that. Was it better back in the day with MTV? Or do algorithms actually help? Because there's so much music out there now, it's overwhelming.
It's a good question. On the one hand, MTV was like this shared experience, a curated window into music from all over. You'd wait for your favorite video, and in between, you'd discover new stuff, new genres, just by chance.
So true. You didn't always choose what you listened to, but you were bound to find something new. Okay, let's move to the next lyric. We gotta unpack this one. When the show's over, I'll come home. When that is, I don't know.
What do you make of that? It's kind of bittersweet, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It really captures that feeling of being on the verge of adulthood,
Yeah.
All that excitement and possibility, but also that uncertainty, that feeling of where do I go from here?
Exactly. It's that classic mix of feeling invincible, but also realizing, whoa, I don't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, who does at that age, right?
Right, nobody.
And what's interesting is the writer of this analysis, they share this really personal story about growing up afraid of nuclear war, like having nightmares about it.
Wow. Heavy stuff. Yeah, it makes you think even though times change, those deep down anxieties about the future, those are universal.
Totally. Every generation has something.
For sure, back then it was nuclear war. Now it's maybe climate change, economic uncertainty, who knows?
Right, but that feeling, that worry about what's to come, it's relatable no matter when you grew up.
I think so, yeah. Okay, let's lighten things up a bit. Move on to the next line. This one's kind of funny. Think you know it all when you don't know any better.
Oh, I know that feeling.
And here, the analysis mentions no fear sweatshirts. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
It's funny how these little details can just take you right back.
Totally. It's like a time warp.
For real. So that line, think you know it all, it's so about that teenage confidence, right? We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Thinking we had all the answers.
Yeah.
What about you, listeners? Anything you look back on now and just laugh? Those moments where you were so sure, but looking back.
Oh, yeah.
It's that ability to laugh at ourselves, and kind of appreciate how far we've come.
Definitely. It's like growth,
Yeah.
right? And speaking of this next lyric, this one I think gets to the heart of the whole song. Fire's burning and I'm still holding the torch from 1994.
powerful imagery.
Yeah, it's so evocative.
It really makes you think about how certain years, they just stay with you more than others. What is that, do you think? What makes a year stick with you like that?
That's a great question. I mean, it's probably different for everyone, right? Sometimes it's a big life event,
Mm-hmm.
graduating, falling in love, a new job.
Yeah, those milestones.
Right. But often, I think it's more of a feeling, an atmosphere. Like the people you were with, the music, what was going on in the world around you, all of it blends together and it stays with you.
Your own little time capsule. And for this person who wrote the analysis, 1994, that's their year.
It seems like it. And I think what makes this song and this analysis so interesting is that it taps into something we all feel, that connection between music and memory. How certain songs can just take you right back.
Totally. It's like they get woven into the fabric of our memories or something.
Exactly. And it's often not even a conscious thing. Those, what do you call it, sonic triggers are so strong.
They are. So thinking about your own life, what would you say is your most vivid soundtrack year? The one where the music and the memories are, like, inseparable.
Ooh, that's a tough one. There are a few contenders, honestly.
Hmm.
It's tricky, right? Some years just have that extra something.
They do, and maybe that's what Stephen Wilson Jr. is getting at in this song.
Mhm.
He's not just talking about 1994, right? It's that feeling we all have.
Yeah.
Looking back at a certain time, and it's like this rush of nostalgia, but also maybe a little sadness because it's gone.
Absolutely. It's bittersweet for sure. But here's the thing about these musical time capsules.
What's that?
They're not just about the past, are they? They say something about who we are now, too.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, the music we connect with, it changes as we change, right? It's like those songs become these markers, these chapters in our lives.
Ooh, I like that. Like checkpoints along the way.
Exactly. And going back to them, it's like having a conversation with your past self, seeing how far you've come, you know?
That's such a cool way to look at it. So, as we're wrapping up our deep dive here into Year to Be Young, 1994, what's the big takeaway? What do you want listeners to walk away with?
I think it's a reminder that music has this incredible power
It does.
to connect us not just to the past, but to our emotions, to different versions of ourselves even.
It's more than just like sounds, you know? It's this thread that runs through our lives,
Yeah,
connecting us to people, to places, to how we felt, in a way few other things can.
exactly. Makes you wonder, what are the songs, the albums, the playlists even that are defining this moment?
Ooh, good one.
The ones that years from now will take us right back to right now.
That is such a great question to end on. What about you, listeners? What's on the soundtrack of your life right now? And what will it make you feel years down the line when you hear it again?
That's all for our deep dive today, everyone. Thanks for listening. Keep exploring those sonic landscapes and the memories they hold.